Every word you use about money was invented by someone the world despised. The word bank comes from the Italian banca, a wooden bench. The word bankrupt comes from Banca Rotta, that bench, snapped in half. For roughly 3,000 years, the people who sat behind those benches were essential to every marketplace, every temple, every trade route on Earth. And nearly every civilization hated them for it. This is Money Origins, where we trace modern finance back to the people and moments that built it. Quick note, this is a look at historical context, not financial advice. What I want to do here is follow one profession across the ancient world, from temple courtyards to medieval piazzas, and show you how a man sitting on a bench became the ancestor of something you interact with every single day. Here's something most people don't think about when they picture the ancient world. You're a farmer. You've traveled for days, maybe weeks, to reach a major temple. You need to make an offering. You've got coins in your pocket, but the temple won't take them. This was real. Temples across the ancient Near East, Greece, and especially Jerusalem operated on specific currencies. The Jerusalem temple required Tyrian shekels, a particular silver coin minted in Tyre, because temple authorities considered it the most reliable silver available. Your Roman denarius, your local bronze coins, whatever you carried from home, none of it worked, so you had no choice. You walked into the court of the Gentiles, found a money changer sitting behind a small table, and exchanged your coins for the currency the temple accepted. The money changer took a fee, maybe a few percent, maybe more during peak pilgrimage seasons when demand surged and the money changers knew exactly how desperate you were. This is the scene described in the Gospels and the one where Jesus overturns the tables. Worth understanding what was actually happening there. The money changers weren't operating illegally. They were performing an officially sanctioned function within the temple system. The anger wasn't about law-breaking. It was about a system where the sacred and the transactional had become impossible to separate. And Jerusalem wasn't unique. The history of money changers stretches back even further. In ancient Greece, money changers, what's called trapezitai, from trapeza, meaning table, operated in the agora. Every city-state minted its own coins. An Athenian drachma didn't spend the same in Corinth. If you were a merchant moving goods between cities, you needed someone who could weigh, assess, and convert currencies on the spot. The trapezitai did that. Some of them eventually began holding deposits and making loans, functions that start to look remarkably like ancient banking. Rome had a version too. The argentarii sat in the forum, exchanging currencies from across the empire. As Rome expanded, so did the complexity of the money flowing through it. Egyptian grain payments, Spanish silver, coins from dozens of provinces. Someone had to sort it all out. The argentarii became essential middlemen, and some grew powerful enough to finance political campaigns. Then, medieval Italy. The money changers of Florence, Venice, Genoa. They sat on wooden benches in the piazzas, doing what their predecessors had done for millennia. Banca. The bench. That's where the origin of the word bank lives, not in a vault, not in a marble building, on a bench in the open air, with a pile of coins and a scale. And when one of those money changers couldn't meet his obligations, when he failed, his bench was physically broken. Banca Rotta, broken bench. That's the bankrupt etymology, the public destruction of the tool of his trade, a ritual humiliation to match the financial collapse. Here's what stayed constant across every century and every civilization. Everyone needed the money changers, and almost no one respected them. Greek philosophers wrote about them with suspicion. Roman law regulated them heavily. Medieval Christian doctrine condemned charging interest, which made the money changers' fee a moral gray zone that entire communities debated for generations. And yet, trade routes couldn't function without currency exchange. Temples couldn't operate. Armies couldn't be paid across borders. The money changer occupied a position that was structurally necessary and socially condemned, simultaneously. That tension never fully resolved. It just migrated. The next time you exchange currency at an airport kiosk or watch a Forex spread update on your screen, you're looking at the direct descendant of a person sitting on a bench in a crowded market 3,000 years ago. The bench changed. The buildings got taller. The fees got more sophisticated, but the function Converting one form of value into another and taking a cut for doing it, that's been the same since the first bankers sat down behind their tables and waited for someone who needed what only they could provide. A brief note, the historical interpretations here reflect mainstream scholarship, but ancient financial systems are still actively debated among historians. If this one reframed something you thought you knew alike, helps it reach more people. And if you're not subscribed yet, this is what we do here. We follow the money backward until we find the people who invented it. There's more on the channel that goes deeper.